was already on.
Yeah, we only need one microphone now.
Oh, these things are awesome, dude.
Yeah, they're really, really pick it up. We all set?
I'm all set. If everyone else is ready. All right, I'm gonna close enough. 7 o'clock. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna convene the Town of Arundel Budget Board and Select Board meeting Wednesday, February 22nd. Agenda. First item was call to order and then approval of the agenda. Do I hear any motions or otherwise?
I'm going to approve it. Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor? Unanimous. All right, we'll move right into the introduction of budget information from the town manager, Keith.
Yes, thank you, I appreciate it. Again, probably apologize a little bit for the delay in getting this process started, but for me, it was trying to get as much information as possible collected, so we can sort of streamline our abilities to meet. I thought last year we had quite a few, some of them may have been a little redundant. I'm hopeful that the information I give you is helpful. It will deviate probably a little bit as we move through the process, but just to give you an idea where we are with the budget that's in front of you right now. Presently, this budget, as presented, is $4,977,382. I'm anticipating revenue of $2,607,498 in our anticipated revenue budget, which brings in the amount to be made raised to the municipal budget, municipal side of the budget of $2,369,866, which is slightly less than last year's.
But we're missing things here, right? We're missing a handful of things, right?
Not sure if it's in hand. But,
So one,
I'm not sure what you do.
transfer station.
Right, I'll get to that. Right, I'll get to the transfer station. That's the only budget there. I have a couple of things that I'm thinking about funding through the ARPA money. I'll get to that as we do this process. Right now, the budget also includes wage adjustments of 6.4%, which is based on the consumer price index of the Northeast region. A review of other municipalities within our area, and my last review, which was, I took a look at it again today, talking to a couple other colleagues, which are running just slightly less than 6.4, but in that region, well, indicated to me what they're proposing. I did that across the board, so any part-time wages adjusted by 6.4. What I'm finding is we continue to have difficulty retaining employees, and I think if we have a healthy hourly rate for some of our positions that may be able to assist us as we move forward. As I say, that the very recruiting and retaining employees, obviously becoming an issue, particularly with our public works department. Right now, we're down 3 people within that department. Now I think we are now at a point with our wages in the $25 range, that we may be able to enhance some folks who to come our way. We got a variety of issues that are related there. One is that we require CDLs, we're finding that we're not getting many applicants with CDL requirements right now, so we got a couple of interviews that are coming up shortly on some folks that are interested in see how that works out. We're now contemplating whether or not we're going to send them to school, because now you're required to with the entry level certification where they can take the test. So the standards are changing very rapidly. That will be something that we can deal with. The other thing, again, that it's not in the budget, but I've been asked to talk about when we get to the fire department budget, we discuss what we want that. There's a request by some of our full-time firefighter EMTs to have the town consider enacting the main PERS retirement program for firefighters. There's a specific region, area that you can only earmark just for firefighters. So desire. The request there, the issue that I see there is that presently our 457 program, we contribute 6% of a person's annual salary. They have the ability to contribute 6% as well. With the main PERS, under their 3C program, they're required by the employee required to contribute 13.4% in the first year. It changes a little bit as the years go on. 13.4%, and the employee is 9.3%. So there's some differences in there that we'll have to look at. There'll have to be some decisions made by the folks in the access line enacting that for our firefighters. Obviously, a vote from this board and the budget board, the select board and the budget board would be necessary, as well as the legislative and the annual town meeting to enact and allow that to happen. So, something to think about, both the process.
So going to main PERS, they're required to pay 9.3. So
Yeah.
currently they can pay up to 6%.
Correct.
So it's a cut and pay for them if
It would be. I think they, I'm not sure if they realize that, but they get 13.4% from the town.
which goes toward their retirement. There's more in their retirement in the long run.
There's a couple programs. One is a 3C program, which provides employees to have a 20-year retirement at 2/3 pay. That's what the 13.4% is set on. There's another one that, 20 years. The other one is 25 to 5, which is half pay. And that's C.
If they contribute to main PERS, they don't contribute to Social Security.
I believe I'd have to look at that a little bit more.
Because I know with teachers, when they're in main PERS, they don't participate in Social Security. So maybe that's a wash there for them.
I'd have to look at that more. I'm not sure if they're exempt from Social Security. Contribution to the school education. Also, when you go to the budget, you're going to notice that in the fire department budget, there's one budget now. What I've done is I've combined both the call budget and the per diem budget into the fire department budget. The call and per diem is essentially just salary and FICA, whatever works comp insurance. Yeah, so what I did is I just combined those into the budget. So the budget now reflects the fire department. And if you actually see what we used to do at the town meeting, warrant was one amount, even though we had two budgets. So for budgetary process, or for us doing the books, makes it a little easier. We can take it out of one budget. So that's another thing that we can do that. Also, on this, seems like a picking up the fire service, and also a request again for another full-time firefighter that's being requested. Right now, we have 3, one more, we bring this up to 4. Look at the overall spreadsheet, see down the bottom, I have a line for it, in the spreadsheet. On the larger page, look at it, and the overall budget sheet down the bottom, you'll see the firefighter for the end last year, but 2, this year requesting 1, so it's 96 change. For that position.
Did we fill those 2 positions?
Yep, in the bill. They were filled in the in July or August. I think it was August, once we got the interview process done, the selection process. With addition for the additional home. I'm not quite sure how the schedule worked out. The request now is to put it on another full time. I haven't worked on the schedule with the department quite yet, how that will work out. Not sure how that's going to go.
That's in 1301, right? You were talking about 1301.
Yes. Yep. The other thing too is that this budget does not have anything in it for the transfer station. Again, Casella, I talked to Chris on the phone today, and sent him the last week. We talked a little bit today about where it's going to be. It's a brand new employee. So I'm sort of playing my cards, but that's for sure. What we've done in the past. Right now, our contract is expired in December. So we're already without a contract. They did increase the rate by 3% to protect them in the contract documents that went into this year. So I'll have further details. That's where they're going to be. So to see what they're proposing for I make the proposal.
But it's certainly not gonna be less than the 144,000 that we paid last year, right?
No, I would think it's probably that, and it could be. If you recall, last year they wanted us to fund the entire thing and allow revenues to be deposited at the transfer station, but don't pay. The only fees that they would be collecting is that for bulky waste items,
Right.
that kind of thing, but anybody throwing trash, take it with the tax bill. I'm not sure if they're still at that position. I spoke to Dave Allen, who made that proposal last year. And regional manager will deal with that now. I don't have anything to do with it. And whether or not the trade looks like this, they give. The other thing that we're seeing here too is in this budget, see an increase in the recreation department budget by 2 additional summer employees. Talked to Jen again today. Well, last week she's seen a significant increase in summer rec participation for the upcoming year. To the point where she's getting nervous that she actually would have to turn people away from just making some record, which is something that we really don't want to do. Possibly, so that's the reason why we're asking for this. That's about $12,000 bonus. Finally, the budget, as I'm proposing, is also going to have final use of the ARPA funds. Presently, we have $194,047.08 paid. I would participate or like to use, about 140,000, so maybe 145 for the, upgrade of our SCBA equipment with the fire service. We've got, so it's well over 10 years old, well beyond its useful life. This is the self-contained breathing apparatus. They have masks, the harness itself with the warning system going in and water, they go on the back of it. Well, as well as an upgrade on the compressor system that would be maintaining the bottles. So once the bottles are expended, they come back to the station, they get refilled by a compressor. So that would be some of the funding that I would see used. If you did use it, our funds for them certainly can be have to consider use of taxpayer funding some way somehow. Capital expenditure. Yeah.
Is there like a yearly maintenance cost on that stuff?
If I were just every 5 years, President can allow him to maintenance that. It's not being changing that, and say. One of the things that is being proposed, one of the proposals I have right now is it had the chief was still getting some bids from Scott as well. But if we go to the MSA system, not only are we going to have to change all the units, but they're not compatible with Scott's that we have now. The only caveat for the proposal that I've seen is that we get 17 bottles with our purchase, and MSA is going to give us 17 additional bottles at no charge. So that would give us enough bottles to swap out and so on and so on. But that data is still coming in.
Okay.
But I'm not proposing to have that tax law at this point. And finally, that funding, I'd like to purchase a 100 kilowatt hour standby generator for the Public Works Department. Right now, they have a 100 kW military generator that we're getting into control of it. It hasn't been reliable in terms of power loss, and then you have to operate their compressors, their power tools, their electric door openers, all that kind of stuff. So I'd like to just get rid of that and go to a better system. Similar to what we have here, we're deciding whether or not, and I'm getting numbers for it down, deciding whether or not we want to have diesel or propane up there. So we don't keep it for the prices are coming in between $35,000 and $36,000. And as I understand, most of the hookups are there. It's a matter of putting on that. So
What is ours here? What does that run on?
that's 150 kW.
Yeah, but what does it run on?
It runs on diesel.
Yes.
It's a diesel generator. Tank is underneath.
Yeah.
Unit. We went with propane, we could plug our propane into it, or we could go with diesel. As well, either or, I think. It's
And what would we do with the old one? We bid it out?
I think we put it in military surplus, we got a military surplus, I don't think we used it very often. When we first got it, they had a small portable unit that they were using. But it just isn't, they couldn't use the equipment. The power line, so that was the issue. They could have heat, they could have some lights, so if they came in from, say, a winter storm, they could at least come in. That kind of thing. So, but with the diesel generator, as Roger said, he probably can power all three around driving.
Yeah.
That's how.
I'll make an offer for $100 for that.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'll make an offer for $100 for that old
Really good generator? Yeah.
I'll go 125.
bastard.
How much KW on it? Guys, you need it. That's up to you. So, there you have it, in a nutshell, where I am at this point. Budget attitude, and does bring up a good point, still 100,000, so. Overall, low on the transfer station piece. At this point. We do have. A healthy surplus. Last year we used just 100, we were giving authority to do 400,000. Slightly set the tax rate, I think it's 105,000. We set the rate, keep the rate at 89, the same here, so. I think we have some flexibility again.
We should have some decent funds in
In
there.
that realm. So, whatever you decide to do, I think, we have to try to keep the tax rate pretty stable. Now, we don't know what's going to happen in school. I mean, government just told us they're looking at 8% right now. I know they're losing some of their EBS funding.
Yeah.
So that will have an impact on us somehow. Right now, we don't know. I mean, last year's budget went down $150,000. We don't expect this budget to go down.
Yeah, I don't expect it to go down either.
So, just over 8%. That's what.
That's where they started.
8%.
Initially, when everything came in. The bottom line, it's about 8%. That's just what everybody has requested, what everybody's looking at. That doesn't mean that that's going to be what it's going to be. That's just like this, the initial ask. And there, I think they'll be, I think it's the first, I can remember, first part of March. And they'll start whittling down on what they're gonna do. They may go with everything that's been asked for, but use some of their other funds to drop that down, so.
I do know they're using some of the funds to finish off the athletic facilities.
Yeah.
And I know they still have some other.
Yeah, that, I think that's already in there.
Yeah, but those are funds that are already committed, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that's part of this current budget. I think
Yeah.
the funds are already committed.
So that's committed, so we won't see that.
To me, it's mostly gonna be driven, I mean, they've hired a whole bunch of different positions, so it's
Yeah.
a lot of salary.
Yeah, and positions
Salary
that they were
driven.
using the federal funds to pay
Right.
for are now coming online.
Right,
So now
HR, and
they're-
this, right,
Yeah,
much, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a tough sell this year with them.
yeah,
Just for the approximate numbers that we've got so far, I figured if the school budget held with 3% increase. Making some reasonable assumptions about other stuff, and don't have the numbers for you. I figured a 3% increase. Probably below the 16, 19. We're talking 8%. That's all the time like that.
Yeah.
We still don't know what's gonna happen with the county budget. It's 273 to change that.
Yeah, I thought about 3% on the county, 3% on the school.
Yeah. So,
As far as the school, but last 3 years, it was in 3% range, but if we can have every data on the students. And not what any assumption, last year they started at 10%. And then once we know what was known, they came out to the final budget. It was agreed about that last year that they would add back in 6.5%. Which is about 600,000. Back here on top of 3%.
Yeah.
And, we're, I but, it's gonna get a pretty thorough going. One from the bank one, it was not terribly happy.
Yeah.
Some of the issues that we'll see what happens. Yeah, no,
I would also like to see, we don't put anything in for cemeteries. The Historical Society has been looking at the cemeteries around town. I mean, we have a cemetery committee that right now is made up of one person. And we have Revolutionary War veterans, we have Civil War veterans, that the stones are in need of repair. And the Historical Society doesn't have the money to do it. That is something that the town, as far as I'm concerned, the town should take on. I mean, we have one cemetery that's down in the woods beyond us, that he's a Revolutionary War soldier, and the cemetery was a family cemetery, and the stones are all down, and even some of the stones in our better taken care of cemeteries need to be straightened up and repaired, and that work needs to be done by somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I spoke to, Dawn and Pinkerton.
Yeah.
Earlier this week.
Yeah.
And, she provided me with a package of it.
Yeah.
On Monday, looking to, John's support for the month secretary at this point. For some, stone rehab and stuff. It wasn't a significant amount of money, it ended up being $500, I indicated to her that money go, that would come out of our public works budget.
Yeah.
So, but that was something that I'll bring up to the focus. Yeah, I think it's something that we can look at periodically. If you recall, the cemetery up here, we had a Boy Scout that went in and did like rehab to that cemetery.
The cemetery on the Limerick Road, the one that
Yeah,
the fence is falling down, that needs to be repaired. We don't have any more Boy Scouts that are doing
right,
that.
we don't have any Eagle Scouts that
Yeah.
are stepping up.
Um,
and that, so.
So, and that one is very visible. And
And I
it's
think
not,
it would be important.
Yeah.
If Donna and Kindred and some of those folks are interested in. He indicated to me that there was somebody who is an expert on headstone restoration.
Yeah.
That was working with. So that would be the kind of person that would be helpful to at least get budget numbers out of him or her, whatever it may be. Like in terms of mowing and fence repair, I think that's something that the mowing can be done in the public works
yeah,
department.
they do it now.
Yeah. So,
I know you don't have all the numbers in for the generator, but do you expect to have any ARPA funds left over?
no,
Well, we
Sure.
should do some of that for this, but.
Yeah.
Use it
yeah,
all.
Yeah.
you got 194, I think we're gonna be pushing it pretty hard. In terms of the SCBA equipment. As well as, I'm hoping that we, proposals and gas coming in, are going to be trimming their numbers more than the initial estimate that we provided to me, so.
so this was the estimate on that.
On the SCBA equipment for the fire department, the self, the tank breathing apparatus.
Now, the CDL, I know you said we had to send people to school. How about other towns? Are they also sending people for training? Is it something that the towns could get together if they had enough applicants?
Well, we're looking into that. There are some towns that have taken on the training themselves. We did a webinar or a Zoom conference with MMA, Roger and Terry and I last week, talked about this. And their major focus was to try to get somebody within staff to do the teaching. And as I said to both Roger and Terry, we just don't have the staff.
But if I could, at the county budget meeting last year, one of the things that Greg, the county manager, mentioned was that he was gonna be looking into training himself for towns. So before the record drastic on that, you might want to hold off until right, meetings are held, you know, you might get an update on that if there is anything that's on.
There are some communities, as well as some private contractors who take it upon themselves to have the training in-house. So I know that Sanford, I believe Bedford does. There was a general contractor. First guy in town or around here that was doing it as well. I can't remember precisely who it was. There's a list. Excuse me, the state provides. Caveat here is that, as I understand it, as long as the applicant who is taking the class is not charged for it, then they get around the fact that they're not a school. If they end up being a school, these people are doing training on their own. If they become a school, then they have the whole bunch of regulations, things that they have to follow. So this is for those businesses or entities that can manage to do this on their own. Now, we're looking into the fact that maybe we can send somebody for that. And we'll send the employee.
Yeah, I mean,
As long as
we
you're
could
not
send the
charged
employee
for it.
to when Biddeford is doing their
Right.
course or something like that, or
So
Sanford, or.
that's the thing that we're looking at, whether that violates the statute, I'm not sure.
Now, are they looking for CDL Class B or Class A
I
drivers?
believe both of them will be offered this early training.
Cause I do know that right now, YCCC in Wells is offering for free anyone that currently has a Class B to get the training for the A.
I think primarily we need to start out with B. And the frustrating part for us is that we've had a number of employees that have worked for us that we have trained,
Then they go somewhere else.
and we have provided them the CDL. And then all of a sudden, they leave us. So I'm looking into.
You can also implement a contract that if they want to get that training by the town, that they commit to so many years.
Well, I don't know if the contract is binding.
Yeah, how can
So the only one that I know that's binding was passed by the state legislature, it had to do with law enforcement. Where law enforcement were going to Augusta to get their training, and then, the city of Portland would look at a candidate and say, I know you're working down at Berwick. Hey, we'd love to hire you. So then Berwick has been flipping the bill all this time to send them. They go to Portland, Portland has to pay Berwick back all the wages and the training that it cost them. Now, that doesn't help town of Berwick or anybody that way, but will it hold up in court? Not sure if it will, but I think beyond having a shake. I don't want the case.
see how that. But,
Short of having somebody shake your hand and say, I'm gonna honor you.
yeah,
I'm
and
not sure
even
that's-
still. But, if they don't have a CDL, then they're really, not useful for us, right? For the most part.
Right, well, they had, especially during winter plowing,
Right. I mean,
they
it's
can't get
summertime.
anything over what, 23,000 pounds. Anything over 23,000 pounds, they can't operate. So, like our smaller, cattle over military truck, just under 23,000. So they could actually operate that as well as our one ton, so
Yeah.
550s and 450s that we have. But when it comes to the larger dump trucks, which really is the main vehicle when plowing snow, they can't operate it. The challenges, yeah.
Just getting back to the, 5 minutes of time for a second. they go with the state retirement plan. If they don't have to pay the social security, I assume the town will not have to pay social security either. I would assume, right?
Yeah,
I'll have to double check on social security needs. Can't remember in the detailed documents that I got, whether that was mentioned.
That could be the real big
Right. Right, what is it, 6.2?
I was thinking 6.7.
7.65, include both social security and Medicare.
so it could almost be a wash.
Maybe, let me do a little bit more research on it, and I mean, again, if support here is considered. Moving that, I think that allows us to get folks that maybe want to come here. But, and have experience elsewhere, but have main PERS at their other location and are refusing to leave as a result of us not offering. So there may be some firemen in EMT that would prefer to be with us, but I'm not gonna compensate it, so.
Do most of the surrounding towns participate in main PERS?
I think most of the larger communities, you're gonna see that, yeah. I think Goodwinville, the line now, and then.
Right, so I mean, if somebody's there, wants to come here, and you already have main PERS, great, now all of a sudden they have to drop main PERS, they go into social security. And,
Yeah, they're not coming.
right, exactly,
Unless they meet unless they've got the retirement age.
Right.
Or the years of service, then they may consider.
Then so we get some solid numbers on this stuff.
Hmm.
If it looks like it is pretty much a wash in the main PERS rather than social security. Is this something that the rest of the town employees would be eligible for?
It would not, because
Yeah,
because of the age of our employees, if we said, I think it's a 1C program that we could offer the main PERS, they would have to buy in from their years of service. No, because, they're all young. And it's due, it's a great age,
rather than.
they're all young and early. So, there's not much that we buy with our other employees now. Case in point, me, I've got 43 years of service, and I started out in main PERS, and then I got out of it, took my money, and then I used another community that had it, if I wanted to get back in, I had to pay, and so.
but there's limitation on who can go into main PERS, right? I mean, I don't believe that like any business can participate in main PERS if they wanted to, right?
No, it's municipalities or government entities, we can.
Okay, but if when we're hiring people, is this gonna be the kind of thing where we're making a new hire for the office? So we can give them the choice of either main PERS or social security?
No, not because of the category they're in. There are specific categories that are offered. The one that we're referring to with the fire is a special plan category. And that would, if we hired a new employee in the general office, that would apply to that. You'd have to offer, an AC, I guess it's called an AC plan. And if you offer it, it has to be for everyone that's there,
Okay,
employee.
okay, but if you offer it to everyone, that doesn't mean they've got to take it.
Yes, it does. It's a closed shop, it's exclusive. Once you offer it, you're in. As I understand it, I haven't seen it any other language.
Yeah, I know, like teachers, they have to take it. I mean, there's no way that they can participate in social security,
Correct.
right? It's, you know.
They asked her if she wanted to be part of it. That means she.
She,
missed out on-
well, She might have been able to maybe say no, but she would, I don't think she would get social security. She would have to go get some other type of insurance policy for that,
Here's what it says about social security.
retirement policy.
If you have social security coverage under the federal section 218 agreement, for some or all of them. Becoming a participating local district of Maine PERS, again, will have no effect on that coverage. You or your 218 covered employees who elect to join PERS must continue to pay social security contribution in addition to Maine public employees retirement system contribution. So it looks like we have that.
So is that a different one than on teachers? Because
Could be. This was specific, these questions were specifically asked for. They weren't asked for other.
so that means that if we do this, then they continue to build retirement for social security and continue to, and then they build retirement for main PERS. So they get basically a double retirement.
Well, if you
I don't
call
work that way.
it's
Sets off against social security and what you get first.
right. So if you collect from PERS, you can't collect,
Right.
you can't collect the whole.
Not the whole.
Right, but you still have to pay into social security.
Yeah, you get a percentage of the one large,
Right, it's not a good deal.
so, yeah, and anybody who thinks that social security is going to be retirement. Well,
Well, it is for some people. Some people, that's all they rely on.
I understand.
Yeah.
No.
So, I'm sorry, you're losing me here. So we're saying that the firemen are also, the firemen are gonna have to pay social security, well, that's what it says. I mean, the town has gotta pay it as well.
Correct. Well, you pay, what is it, 5. Is there? 74%. Pay there.
And the firemen realize they're gonna be paying social security and main PERS out of there.
Not sure, they're the ones that generated this discussion. And then I'll be got the devil in the details, I'm not sure. I can reach out to them. See exactly how it works. That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense to me either.
I want to say, especially in, Katie comes in and talks to us about it.
Yeah,
He's
he's
right
right.
first in what this. And this would just be for full time. Correct.
Three guys, maybe 4.
Correct.
So, I thought tonight, I mean, that's my first real review of the budget, I thought tonight that I wanted to just hit the budgets that we know don't change a lot. And those are the benefit of running 100 series budget, which include the board of selectmen, the planning board budget, the appeals board budget, and the professional services budget. Out of all those budgets, I think the only one that had any change was the professional service budget, which would have been 1103. And we had, some changes relative to, attorney fees.
Animal control.
Planning board went up. I heard.
No,
Planning will went up just a little bit. Just a small.
planning board, board of selectmen are not recommended unless the selectmen themselves.
15%?
The legal went up 1,500. Election and records and, it's also. Our mapping and our, software is down. So, about what, 20. $2,100.
Just speaking of the 6.4% raise. Last year, we based our raise, I think we did 5%. We based it on the core inflation rate, which I think is a lot better measure for these purposes. The super price index. What the core inflation rate is for this year, and I think I'll compare the 6.4%.
Where would I find that information? I'm not familiar with the core inflation rate.
Inflation rates. Spot out.
Stas, that's a good question.
It had nothing to do with gas or something.
Oh, yeah,
Energy. But it does make for a less volatile.
The core inflation rate, I would say. Except for selectmen.
Yeah.
I think Jason's pushing for us.
Yeah.
Say anything about budget board members? Okay.
Yeah.
So Jason, what do you suggest? We go from 1,800 to 1,900 a year?
I like that, the CPI, when I did the 6.1, the COLA was 8.7. So out of the two that probably could, or I could have taken an average, which got me at 7.55, but I decided to use the 6.4. That's how I came up with it.
Well, let's see how the bottom line works out. And we can go from there.
Well, and you know, it's a big nut. Hey, don't get me wrong, because it's the largest one that you have. That you actually control, that can have significant impact on the tax rate. Because 48, I think it's 48 or 49%, almost half of your budget is wages and benefits. So it's big. It's big reason. You know, and if I have to say anything about, I know I don't have to, if I have to say anything about employees, we got a great group of folks, been here a long time. Provide a lot of services. Very happy with the services that they provide. Unless somebody is extremely rude, everybody is service that I think we've got one or two since I've been here that I've had asked to leave, come back at the time, we've got that. But other than that, for the most part, they do what they need. I'll keep my notes. Last year, they mentioned the need to go out and think about fire. Does that come up again? He did mention, but
It's continued to mention it as long as I've been on this.
I really think he would like to retire. But I think he's torn because of the amount of staff. And he knows that if he leaves. And he puts, you know, then we only got 3 employees full time that work. What I would like to do, you know, with Roger, it's a vast amount of experience and that I do not want to. And so my thought and whole process is that once we get to the full time, when you approach the meeting with it again, I would love to be able to say, hey, look,
Go part-time.
go part-time. You know, come in and, you know, help us out with engaging, don't lose the experience of that.
I'm worried we're gonna lose Roger and Terry at the same time. That's what I'm worried about. Because Terry's that age too. Terry's my age, 63 years old, so.
Yeah, it's not something I contemplate very well, but, continue to get up and I go early today at 3 o'clock because I know that I can't die. And they'll be here until Friday afternoon and everything's cleaned up and ready to go, so that's who they are. So, something that some people don't appreciate about them.
The good thing is he's passionate about his job, so that is what kind of keeps him here. But,
Yeah.
so-
I think he's, right now, he's frustrated too, because of the fact we don't have personnel. Because he can't get everything in like, it's not done. That.
Yeah, they've been working on, I know all week,
It gets done. It gets done somehow, yeah.
A lot of hours.
We have a bunch of part-timers that have been coming in that man some of the other trucks for us. That have been with us for a while. And that's really helpful. We did have them, as Roger told me, but they said, if it's just Gary and I, guess what, we'll all be out here plowing around. So. But it will get done.
they've been working all week, picking up some of this brush and tree limbs and things on the side of the road and trying to clear out what is closest on the side of the road, so that if we do get a snowstorm and they're plowing, they're not hitting the trees.
Yeah, stuff that fell the last
Yeah.
storm.
Well,
Yeah, and they're
I
picking
never
it up.
realized until I traveled down here with
Yeah.
River Road and Senate Road.
Yeah.
Looks like a ball on that.
Yeah,
There is trees all over the place,
Yeah.
so.
yeah, they've been down on our road, I think, all week. Picking stuff up and Terry would pick it up with the big machine and they had the truck there with the chipper on the back and chipping the stuff out.
Do they have any issues coming up? The only thing that we can do there would be is if they indicated to me if they were gonna have more frequency of meetings. Then I would propose that we put more money in cover the meetings, but right now. Haven't heard anything else from them that it needs to be an adjustment. That's acceptable. Whether they get it back, I don't know, but they back it off.
How long is the selectman been? $1,800 a year?
Oh, my word, I don't.
Longer than me. I've been
Yeah,
here, what,
when
10
did we
years?
go to 5 selectmen? I think when we went to 5 selectmen, so that you didn't actually have a chairman sitting doing a lot of the work. I think when we went to 5 selectmen, everybody got the same pay.
That's
And
gotta
we
be
take turns
15
being,
years
and we
ago.
take turns being chairman.
I've been on the board for 30, it's been that since.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Everybody gets a raise but us.
So
Yeah.
you gotta vote your own raise. I'm saying. You're not getting any, it's not.
Yeah.
You haven't even put a motion out, you dummy.
Well, I proposed it a couple of years ago, Tom said, what about the money?
Yeah.
Certainly not getting on it.
30 years and it hasn't been about.
But, you know, I mean, I know you discussed it, tongue in cheek, but I can do.
I think it's something that we should take a look at, because, you know, 30 years. It's a bill. Seems a lot. I do have to get a really good work out, I wonder, if some of us not leave, a little bit more money, some other community involvement. And I don't know, people look at it, well, I'm getting that all together.
I'm not sure people even look at what money that they're getting. I know when I ran, I didn't even, it was a surprise to me that we got money.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprise, you're still getting the same.
That money is prime.
Yeah. Yeah, we get the big bucks.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I can. There's an option there.
I don't even know if that would get us, or certainly wouldn't get us a dozen donuts, so, yeah.
Yeah, what did Roger tell me? He went and got a dozen donuts.
40.
Coffee for like $50.
40 some odd dollars, but he didn't tell him he wanted the senior discount.
Probably did.
I think they're only $42 for
Oh,
a dozen
geez.
donuts with the senior discount, yeah. But they are good donuts, and they freeze well, so if you've got a dozen, don't think you've gotta take them home and eat them all at once.
What's happening?
Once you spend
Yeah.
$50 today, you got
Yeah.
more into the electric bill and the
Yeah.
freezer.
Is there anything else you really want to go over tonight?
Yeah, you want-
Information.
Do you want a motion on some of these 11 series budgets?
Want to do the 1101, 1, 2, 3, 5.
Let's hold off on the 1101. I'll make a motion. We did the 1102, except as presented.
Motion made and seconded for 1102 planning board budget of 12,697. All those in favor?
Yep, yep.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded for 1103 town communications for 896. All those in favor?
And professionals, just a quick question on professional services, Keith. So the mapping GIS update, I mean, that's. I think I question this every year. I mean, that's upkeep, right? We've got, that continues to happen every single year.
We have the GIS system, which if you haven't been online, you take a look at.
That's pretty cool.
Really help out. And then we also have mapping. Which gentlemen, GIS could do it, but, what happens now is you've got to send it to. Can't remember the gentleman's name, software, and he puts it all, he did start it. He's gonna work with GIS now, so he'll give that information to GIS. And then they will, put it on the GIS. So, eventually, I think it will go away, once he gets sick of doing it, or he's been doing it for so long. So. It's something that, between you and me and the land course, it's something that I'm trying to. Get Beth to walk away from. What I mean by that is that what happens now is he gets recorded for a piece of property, comes in. Then she takes her mapping, lays it out, and then tries to draw the line on our map by the deed description. Where the gentleman saw Portland and GIS said, give us the deeds, we'll put it on the map. Right now, it's something that she's very passionate about, but it's something that I think would open up some more time for her to do other things, other than
time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
drawing
Sure.
lines on the map.
Personal experience, I can tell you, it's.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
This cost here comes,
Yes,
passing that paperwork on to South Portland.
he would still have to do he still does our hand maps. It would still do that, but the GIS system, you take that data and put it on, so you click on your lot, and they have all the accurate information. So, it'll be time saving in the long.
It, I played around in that. Josh and I were looking for somebody. And it's pretty good because you can bring that up and you can click, you can see who the homeowner is. You can, I mean, it's pretty cool. It works really well.
Well, you've got shoreline zoning in there, you've got setbacks.
Yeah.
You've got soils, there's a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff that you really can.
You get soils, but soils can really confuse you. You really got to know that
Yeah.
legend well because like, holy crap. Hey, the other thing is the legal line. So that includes what we talked about at the selectmen's meeting about,
That's all.
yeah. Now, there was a motion on that or? No, I'll make a motion. We approve 1104 for 87,395.
Motion made and seconded for 1104 professional services for 87,395. All those in favor? Anyone to oppose? No.
So when do you want to, try to get? Go through the process.
What do you have, you have any more stuff coming, or you get all of your?
Well, I got the transfer station.
Yeah.
I wanted
We'll
to
take that.
do the, SCBA stuff, but that's our, so that may not have any impact here.
Yeah.
I think everything else that I needed to have a better in. I can't think of anything. Didn't have a recommendation. They're approaching the second shot, transportation maybe not one fifth of the month. Or is, okay, I mean, I bought a perfect comfortably like no pay, so yeah, that's something that maybe. I have to look at the language on it. You know, I don't. I think that the federal government is what my hands on that. But I can. Yeah, I think that the elephant in the room for us right now, what's that?
Status of,
Transfer
Whether
station.
the seller's gonna require us to pay for all rolling tax dollars, or continue to allow the fee system that's presently established with the small amount that we provide for that, for staffing and things like that, so.
If the seller decides they don't want anything to do with the fee system that we're on now, do we have any options other than sell that if it becomes extraordinarily expensive?
Right, there are other options out there that we can look at.
Yeah, you can go out for bid, right?
Yeah, we would have to go out.
You're gonna,
I believe so, if you want to keep that.
What are the players around there?
Waste management. You got smaller companies, but I don't know if they would be able to come in and absorb
Yeah.
I don't,
that activity up there.
I
for
think,
that.
I think if we go out for bid, we're gonna get shocked at what the price
Yeah.
is, but. I could be wrong.
You know, I'm hoping that, we'll see what gets out of them.
They pretty much control the waste management.
I'll tell you, what I. Off the subject a little bit, but years ago when I was a kid,
Yeah, yeah.
years ago when I was a kid, I gave to a young woman whose father was in the trash bin. And now that I think about it, I probably should. Been a lot of money. That's right. We take it like. But yeah, I mean, years ago, you got into this, it's pretty lucrative now. The way it's set up is now.
There's that one, or another one,
Not quite sure how they do it in other communities. I know the community that I live in, the town still operates still has personnel that collects fees at the transfer station, but the seller runs the station. So they have large companies that come in and dump their trash there. They have a tipping area there that they can load up the big heavy yard and the big tractor trailers and all that stuff away, so. Yeah.
So, Jack, you have somebody that comes over and picks up, right? Is it you or somebody? You do? So what does it cost you? If I-
And it's $69 a month. For 2 barrels every week.
For 2 barrels every week?
69 a month.
2 of those containers that they take and dump it, like,
We have a container at our shop, and it's $300 a month.
For a
I'm like,
big
if I give you one,
6-yard container.
6 yard, yeah.
your father went to the dump today.
Yes, it is.
Well, I mean, the reason I ask is, last year we talked about this, and so if we go and do away with the cards. And just offer it free for everybody, you got folks that pay that are gonna say, well, why would my taxes, why do I have to pay extra of my taxes if, but if we could offset that cost. But you probably still say, screw that, I don't wanna have to deal with the dump, they can just come out at the end of my driveway. Right, yeah.
You would
Yeah.
wanna see a trash at the dump.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you're different.
yeah.
Yeah, I take mine to the dump, and I pay the bags, and the town also has bags, and it's like, $10.50 for 5 bags. So, 5 bags, I stuff those beans, but we have recycling, most of my stuff is recycling.
I mean,
Even at the transfer station, whatever, I mean, we're at 124, 45 last year. Even if it went up another 100,000. That would probably, I think we're about almost 100,000 that goes to trash now. Which gets up. So 100,000. That covers everybody, I'm not sure.
Who sets the fee? Do we or they?
What fees?
The fees or the cards, how much?
We did by
So we can
contract,
offset some of that by upping those fees.
if we still use if we still use the
we feel the punch card. I mean, one punch a bag to me is pretty cheap.
It is cheap. Oh, yeah,
You know,
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, something, I haven't heard any. Now that we have better control of it, what the seller does. Because they're not accepting cash, not hearing many complaints with the seller that they're not getting their money, because I think they are. Now, and we sell the cars here and all of that.
Right.
So we think a seller might be more than the last year, the stickers and all the system.
Got a new guy,
Expired 2
you
years.
didn't want to say, hey, look, I don't want to go right now.
Well, I mean, it's a lot easier now because they don't weigh. It's just a bag of punch. I mean, how simple except without punching, but how simple can you get? You throw 3 bags in, the guy looks at you, that's it. I don't care how big the bags. I had a bag that was this tall and he only punched me once. And I told him, I said, I got a big construction bag. Yeah, that's okay. Punched me once.
Yeah,
He
that's,
probably should, I was expecting twice, but that's why I mentioned it.
The exact science. of it.
Yeah.
No,
But, people know now, they're not worried about, geez, he didn't even weigh me and he punched it twice or what. It's just one bag, one punch, that, to me, that's pretty easy.
how much your car?
You
It's 20 or 40.
yeah, 20 or 40, 20 punches, 40 punches.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Believe they are.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I went a couple weeks ago and normally I just take it to work with me and dump it in my dumpster. But I actually went to the transfer station. And it's like, you got a sticker? Oh, yeah, it's on my windshield. And he comes back and goes, that's 2 years expired. Have it fixed next time you get here. Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Well, that's good.
Even more incentive for me, just take it to my work, so.
I don't have a, a date sticker. I don't think you do.
No, Charlie traded trucks and he didn't take the old sticker off the old truck, so. But they know him up there. Not only do they know him, but when he backs in, they even help him take the barrels out of it because they know he can't get the barrels out of the back of the truck. So they take the barrels out of the back of the truck for him and dump them for him.
They sure don't do that with me.
Well,
So do we have a TIF meeting next week? We don't, right?
No. Have not called one, I can give you an update on that, and, reached out to the attorney, I'm waiting for them to get back and get me to. Series of questions to get answered, so I expect, probably. Maybe by the end of the week, I'm sure. For the 8th of June.
Yeah.
And it's an off week. Most likely.
Yeah. Yeah,
Do
I would say March 8th. Next meeting.
I think one of the.
You want to
things-
go sooner or?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think one of the things that we're gonna need to do, and it's another reason why I want meetings. If you're gonna have to tell me where you wanna go with salary. I made a proposal for you. Guys gonna have to tell me, so then I can screen it. If I have to make some modifications to it, I can do that, and send you further down, so in your next meeting. That would be something that I would expect you to take a look at, and consider.
I think the budget board needs a 50% increase.
Yeah,
Which
At
would be-
zero.
Which would be zero, so we're good. I mean, I'll vote 100% if you want.
Certainly,
Was it the eighth, did you say?
Yeah.
So to Keith's point, I mean, is everybody okay with the 6.4, or do you wanna go higher, or do you wanna go lower?
So we have on the 6.4, but think back and it was like in 3 to 5 years. I feel like certain individuals was kind of got
Huge.
15% increase, right?
so yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
So is it customary to go across the board usually? I know some of you did, like, well, you have 90% of the. Well, I think it's the last couple of years, since inflation really get big. I think you've got to go with something across the board.
also finding that I can't get anybody to walk through the courts, paying at least $25 an hour. Like, you know, and, you know, some of them people would go to unhappy camp. Yeah.
And we did the different amounts just to try to bring people up, you know, to kind of even things out.
I
So
do that, you know. I do look at the position they hold. So some of those are different because of that. And that's just natural.
I threw this out last year and I'm gonna throw it out again. I think that our town manager deserves a little bit more of a raise than what he's on there. I think our town manager has done a tremendous job and I would be in favor of bumping his salary more than the 6.8%.
yeah.
Well, you look at what the managers around us are doing and I'll tell you what,
Tried that 2 years ago.
times have changed.
Oh, I didn't think to ask what the new, like, I know one of the selectmen in Kennebunk, and I didn't ask what the new town manager in Kennebunk is starting at for salary. I'll make that a note the next time I,
It was, they listed it on the Kennebunk Post. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was, but.
Where?
yeah, the new town manager,
155.
yeah.
You're gonna look at it, that's what? 13,000 people in here?
Yeah.
Different type of animal as far as I'm concerned. Well, I don't want to try to force myself out of money. But, you know, I think that. I mean, if you look at it, obviously, the lowest paid in Monroe County as managers. But. Okay. Fine.
I'm not.
Yeah,
He says he's fine, he's fine.
Give you a week's for vacation.
No, that's not gonna happen.
yeah,
You just add a little vacation, I love that.
how many,
I'm finding that,
how many do you get
I
now?
have 3 weeks vacation.
You don't get three. Oh, God, when I retired, I had 4.
raise and another week.
Well, now at least I have a week. I mean, when I retired, I had 4 weeks vacation a year.
When you retired?
Yeah.
When you retired, you should have had more than 4 weeks.
No, I had, I mean, for several years before I retired, I was
okay.
getting 4 weeks vacation, so. We'll have to talk about that.
Depends if you get that vacation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna, I'm sitting in. My goal was 70. But I was remember with Bob. He said, why do you want to get that? Go wait there. But anyway. That's right.
I've been doing what I do for 52 years.
Yeah,
And
You love it. Gets you up in the morning, doesn't it?
I have no intention of quitting.
Yeah. I get up every 5:30 in the morning every day. That's good.
When the day comes and I say, oh, Jesus, I don't wanna go there, that's time to retire.
Right.
But I go that I do that. 62 years went by like 52 weeks.
Okay,
Just one note, for the budget board, do we need to do
yes,
positions and?
yeah, I've got to, gotta reappoint. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
He's all set. He was elected, are you elected or appointed? Are you elected?
What?
Yes.
Sean's elected.
John's elected,
Michelle was elected too, right?
Michelle's elected.
Yeah, she was on the ballot.
Simone.
Right.
What else do we have to do? Elect officers?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do that.
I have a feeling I know where that's one's.
I-
So.
Yeah.
Could be surprised.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we adjourn
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
at 8:13.
Motion passes. Thank you very much, everyone.